I don't know if everyone saw that intro or not.
That was
Oh, yes.
epic.
That was awesome.
That was
Dramatic.
Very.
It's dramatic. All right, I'm here, Cosplays by Shinobi, with Beneath the Cowl, Cosplay Alliance podcast. We're going to be talking about cosplaying 40 years age and older. I do have a slight confession. I'm 39, so I'm right at the edge.
Get
But
out.
most days I feel 40 anyway, so I'm just going to stick around. All right, let's go through an introduction until we have on with us.
Oh, all right. I'm Anna, also cosplay over 40 on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube and Twitter.
I'm Beth. Beth Cosplay. Hi.
Amazon staff, Amazon cosplayer on most platforms. Hello, everybody.
I am James Finch, aka Finch AF, on Instagram, co-host of the Nerdy AF podcast, hence the AF. And unlike one of the people here, I am over 40, so we're good.
I just because I know I'm going to get people in the mentions that you're not 40, so I'm just going to put it out there right at the very beginning. So anyone can cosplay. That's a big thing to me. Whether it's age, gender, race, whatever. It's not just for the young people. So I don't know when you started cosplaying, but I was probably 33-ish when I actually started cosplaying. So I was already above 30 when I did. So when did some of you start cosplaying?
I think I was 44, 43, 44, somewhere in there.
I was 37 because it was 2012. And that's when Avengers came out. And I'm like, I'm going to cosplay Black Widow. So, yeah, 30s, 37.
My birthday's Halloween, so I've always been in costume. But I actively started when I was in high school and then college. And then life got in the way. And then I started again in 2002. So I guess about 21 years of actually being active in cosplay now.
I am 43 years old, and I started cosplaying 8 months ago. So I'm like the newbie to the thing, because for a long time I was like, not that I had anything. I thought cosplaying was so cool, right? But you get to a point where you're like, man, I'm like, yeah, I should have done that in my 20s. Like, that would have been cool to do in my 20s. I was going to Dragon Con last year. And my friend was like, hey, I think I'm going to go as Homelander. You know, you could probably pull off a Butcher. I'm like, well, I am salty. So, yeah. Did Butcher at Dragon Con last year. That was the first one and been off ever since.
Awesome.
So mad I missed you, even though I wasn't.
I know.
I didn't have my age.
Did I meet you?
For some reason.
It's possible. We did. We did a YouTube video. Yeah.
Huh.
Wait, did you didn't have like the little compound V shots, did you?
Oh, I met him.
That wasn't me. I did meet that guy. I was there like opposite, because there was a day there where they did the boys photo shoot, and I was there the day after. So there were a whole bunch of butchers who were there the day before I was there, and which is good because then I guess I stood out on that day.
Exactly. So Beth, you mentioned you cosplayed because of Avengers and you wanted to cosplay Black Widow, but
Right.
So everyone, what made you say I'm going to do it now at that time?
Well, I know for me, I actually was running for office, and I had done an event and gotten a costume for it for Wonder Woman. And it didn't come in time. When it did come, SuperCon was like going to be the next weekend, and I had already had tickets to go to SuperCon. I'm like, well, I might as well wear it since I spent all this money. And I guess the rest is history. Then I got interested in making my own stuff, and seeing the reaction of the kids was a huge part of it. And I love to learn new things. So this was an outlet that was completely new to me and foreign. And I've always kind of had my inner geeky side. So it was a really fun way. And I always have loved dressing up for Halloween, and something that I've carried throughout my whole life. So yeah, so that's how I got into it. It was kind of not expected. I'm glad I did.
Most recently for me, I just got caught up in a manga, Ranma One Half, and I decided, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna start cosplaying again. And so that was my first regular cosplay again from high school, because high school was like Star Trek and Indiana Jones, and now I've started off with anime. And after Ranma, I went back to Star Trek. And gosh, Kim Possible came after that. Oh, I did She-Ra years ago. I should probably do it again so I can compare how dorky I was then to how dorky I am now.
And Finch was Butcher just I got the beard. I'm broody guy. I'm just gonna go full on the Butcher.
I grew the beard for Butcher, and now my wife is like, "Don't you shave that thing? That thing looks amazing on you." Um, no, I've been going to cons regularly for probably 20 plus years. Always admired cosplayers. Always thought, man, those cosplays like amazing. Hey, you guys all know, like you go to a con, and every single con you're blown away by the ingenuity, the creativity that people have. It is amazing thing to see, and I always admired it from afar. Like that's really cool. Like I know I could never do that. I would never like be able to put myself out there like that. But my hat's off to them. They do amazing stuff. And then there's something about hitting 40 and you get diagnosed with a chronic case of the fuckets, and you're just like, the hell with it, man. Like I'm through. Like I'm through like living my life worried about what neighbors think or what high school friends think or what family thinks. And man, if I want to cosplay, I'm going to cosplay. And I wish I'd have made the decision 20 years earlier. It's amazing because I'm preaching to the choir here, right? But it's such an amazing community and so many amazing people who are just being passionate about what it is they love, and it's amazing.
Yeah, definitely something about turning 40. You're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
I think
for sure.
We realize that it's like this is all we got, and this is where it is, and what do I really want to do with my time, and how do I want to spend it? Versus, I don't know, maybe society standards that we believe everybody's supposed to live up to and we're supposed to grow up into. And then we're like, this isn't even real. Like there is no what we're supposed to grow up into. That was just something that we were all sold, I think. And we just realized that we're all basically kids. Our parents were kids. They were just better at hiding it than we are.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So what do you find some of the... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. And the interesting thing generationally about us and being where we are and sort of being like the Gen X kind of thing. And it'd be interesting to hear anybody's thoughts on this, but it's sort of like we grew up at a time where our parents still very much had that worried about what the neighbors think mentality. And some of that like transferred to us as children growing up to the point where it's like that was like a big deal, And I remember feeling that for a long time. And eventually, just like you were saying, like eventually you just don't care. Eventually you're just like, it doesn't matter. You got to live your life for you and do what you enjoy. And we're all big kids at heart. And I'm like losing my mind right now. Fabio is doing Magic Mike in the background.
Just saying.
Y'all, this is Sir Zayden or Curtis. Hi guys. My fiance.
I love it.
Through cosplay.
I love it.
And if it wasn't for over 40, I really don't. We would never have met. Because I saw her picture on there. I fire-hearted it. I'm like, God, like this girl.
My God.
And we started talking since then. So
that's wonderful.
That is
Yay.
so cute. I love it.
So you may be over 40, but it's not done. We're going.
Heck no.
Damn, that's the selling point right there.
Yes, sir.
I think we should sit in with us. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Grab
Let
a chair.
me throw my shirt on. I'm God, you're kind of naked.
Jay just ran for the door.
My OnlyFans can wait.
Oh.
So,
Now
My
he's nervous
husband
about
just
not
went
having a
outside.
shirt
He's
on.
like, see ya.
So Jay was just cracking up at Curtis, and he's just like, nope, bye.
So I guess that's one benefit to cosplaying over 40. What are some other benefits that you find cosplaying? Finding your mate, finding your partner.
I like cosplaying with my kids. It's fun.
Aw.
So I went to
Yeah.
my first. So my son went to his first con last year with me, and it was really cool. And everyone loved his costume. I made
His
him a
droid.
battle droid. Yeah, for Star Wars
I love
Celebration.
that.
He was a big hit. So, and then we've done some photo shoots together, and I don't know. I just really love that. It's really fun.
Mhm.
You know, the kids make it all that much better. I started my kids about 3 or 4 years ago, and bringing them to cons with me, it is so fun to see them dress up and see everybody take pictures of them. They're like, "Hey,
Yeah,
I want a picture with you," and my kids are like, "What, really?" It's like, heck yeah.
it's so cool to be on the other side. People
Yes.
getting excited for him. I'm like, yes.
Yes.
No, my son has severe social anxiety, and he goes to school through. Well, he's graduated now, but he used to go to school virtually because he couldn't be in the crowd. But cosplay totally lets him come take on a new persona. So when we go to cons, he is at his most relaxed, and I think it's great for him, even though
love
he
that.
doesn't like getting his photo taken.
Mhm.
It's such
Yeah.
a great outlet.
It's a great outlet. I feel like a lot of my close friends now I've met through cosplay. Uh, and it everyone's most people, is like minded and there for the same thing. So it's a lot of positivity in the community. I remember I started off as a photographer, and I started cosplaying, doing closet cosplays while I was doing a tog. I was like Marty McFly, and it was only a
You
matter of
fell down
time
the
before I
rabbit
just
hole.
full on dived. Yeah, just a matter of time.
Plus, cosplaying is like totally made me more crafty. I mean, I like to paint and stuff before, but I actually learned how to sew at a con. They had a panel on learning how to sew. And now I'm actually sewing all sorts of stuff besides cosplays. Although I focus more on the cosplay than like on the curtains and the pillow covers. But
That's
and
awesome. That's
it's
really
just been
awesome.
so much fun watching how my skills have grown because I want to achieve more in my cosplays. Not that I made this one, but still. It's like I've got all these projects and I just bought more fabric yesterday, so it's been fun.
It definitely makes you realize, oh, I'm not going to buy that. I can figure out how to make it. Like just kind of everything, like learning that you have more skills than you thought you did. A little bit
Right,
more
and as the years go by, it's
user.
like I'm looking at cosplays that I wanted to do years ago, and I was like, "Pfft, I can't do that. And I'm like, hey, I can do that now.
Mhm.
All right, since we're all over 40, we understand when we were kids, we had the dumb Darth Vader mask that had the rubber
Yes.
band around our mat, like that. It's stick here, it's plastic. It was like a garbage bag that went all the way down
Yep.
to our
Oh
knees.
gosh, the plastic.
And we're like,
yeah.
oh, this is a great costume. This is awesome. No, I didn't feel like Darth Vader. I hated this. I really hated this. It like had his picture in the stomach with like a bright flat. With what? So when it comes to us now, we're like, no, we can do this.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
can do this.
And by God, my kids are going to look good.
Yes.
I will make it.
Exactly.
Make them be awesome.
I need to go back and check out my Halloween glow-ups from when I was a kid.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid looking for an Orko costume. They were like, who's Orko? There's only He-Man.
Yeah.
Orko? Who's Orko?
Orko shows up in
Yeah.
He-Man, the new one, I think.
Well,
But
Curtis,
back
now I
then-
want you to do Orko.
I love
Mhm.
Orko. He's great.
I like Orko. Go ahead.
Well, and the thing about being over 40 and cosplaying is we have this nifty thing that those underneath us do not have, and that's called disposable income.
Mm-hmm.
And that's called being able to like spend the
Some of
money
us.
to be like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to like, and I love the way you say that. And I think that's true of all cosplayers is like the figure out ability is you look at it and you think, oh, I could never figure that out. Then eventually you're like, I'm going to figure it out. Whether it's like I need to get into sewing or 3D printing or, foam or whatever it is. But being over 40 and having that extra income to be like, you know what, I can get that done right now. I'm going to go to the hardware store. I'm going to go to the fabric store, whatever, and I'm going to figure it out right now because that's kind of nice.
Yeah. Plus, another thing that we have is at this point in our life, we're a little more passionate about the hobbies that we choose to spend our time on. Because I think when we're younger, we're like, hey, I'm going to go rollerblading. Oh, okay, let's go mountain climbing. I mean, all sorts of different areas. And here we're like, we've got a set amount of time and energy, and we want to put it towards cosplaying. So we're more dedicated than a lot of the, well, I can't say all of them, but we tend to be a lot more dedicated toward what we have chosen as our hobby.
I'm going to go back on actually what Finch just said. You said disposable income. I'll tell you what, right now, man, I'm a tradesperson. So I'm on construction sites all day and I'm looking in dumpsters. I'm looking over here. I'm going, hey, I'm going to take this piece. I could turn this conduit piece into a line coming from my head down to my spine. I try to find the cheapest way possible to make the coolest freaking cosplay that I can do.
I love that. I work at a fitness studio, and we have a bunch of mat covers that cover our fitness mats. And anytime they're worn out, I'm like, I'll take the cover, because you get a zipper. You get a really nice, durable canvas fabric that you can use as a base or whatever. So I have a lot of worn out mats that I've washed, but they're great. They're great.
So, question: Did any of your friends or family look at you silly or funny or say you're too old for that when you got into college?
I'm going to say the only person who said that was probably me. After I ran for office and I did some of the other things, they were kind of like, whatever you want to do, like, you got this. Like, we're not even concerned, which was liberating. And I feel that being over 40, I don't think that we may fall into some of the same traps that some of the younger cosplayers might end up falling into, as far as the, we want competition, but it's more about our building skills and what we present versus perhaps other cosplayers. We're not like into the same level of gossip, I think, that sometimes goes on in the community, because we don't have time. We've been through that. We never really liked it to begin with, especially as Gen Xers. We're like, yeah, thank you. I have things to do. Bye. So we don't prescribe to a lot of the same kind of drama that I see kind of play out. So I definitely think that's an advantage of being an older cosplayer. I don't know if anybody else thinks.
Drama is, I stay clear away from it. I just don't care.
I know. I'm like,
away from me. Away from me. I'm like, I'm here to have fun.
Well, I will actually say, my mother keeps telling me to stop playing and grow up.
Oh,
and
lovely.
That's
Why?
Yeah, I know. My mother is Ms. Wall Street executive, and she's always kind of been very critical about what I do. She still thinks I should quit whatever I'm doing and become a corporate 9-to-5 person, and it's like, no, that's not happening. That's not me. That's you. And when she tells me to stop playing and get serious, it's like, I don't see why. It's something that I enjoy. It brings me joy. It brings me comfort, and I really like what I'm doing, and I like seeing other people who smile when they see what I've done, and it's just a lot of fun. And as Jay could probably tell you, I don't really pay much attention to what she says, and she's not watching. I love my mom.
That's sad, though. I always send my mom like what I'm working on. She just goes, "Oh, Beth, you're so talented. Oh, Beth, you're so," she's one of those moms who's just always praising and just, "Oh, you're the best. You're the best." And my friends are great too. They don't know anything about my world. They couldn't tell you a DC from a Marvel, but I always send them my pictures of my stuff, and they're like, "You're amazing. I love your." They just think it's so cool. I think that some of them might be listening right now.
Friends are great.
I told them that they're not going to really understand anything, but they're like, "We want to support you."
Oh, when normies see us, they're like, "Oh my god!" It's so great.
There's, surround yourself with good people.
I love just walking around normal streets and cosplay, getting a reaction from people. Most times they want to take a picture with you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Shinobi, what do you cosplay as?
Wow. My favorite cosplay is probably A-Train.
Nice.
A-Train, baby.
It's A-Train, baby. Miles Morales is one of my favorite cosplays, and I have a Joker, Spider-Man, Miles Morales mashup. Kind of sounds insane, but that's also one of my favorite cosplays.
Nice.
And funny enough, you talk about mom. My mom is the person that told me I should go to my first con, which insane was Dragon Con.
Your first con was Dragon Con?
The first con was Dragon Con. I was
You
visiting
spoiled dude.
home.
You were so spoiled. That
I
just was so ridiculous.
Dude, I was like, are all cons like this? This is
No.
amazing.
No.
The short answer, no, all cons are not like that.
I
No,
want to
I
take her
learned
to
that
Dragon Con
very
so bad. She has not been to Dragon Con yet, and I really want
Oh
to
my
take her.
gosh,
Never been
you
there.
must go.
It's so fun.
You have
It's an
to go.
Everybody is so
experience.
inclusive. They're so welcoming. It's our community, all like thousands of us wrapped into one. Like you don't feel weird at all. It's great. It's great. That's
I've had a few 40-plussers. I think Beth was one of them who told me that it's really our age having a
Yes.
great time.
Yeah, it is.
So it's
It
on
is.
our
I think
calendar.
it's so fun. It's so fun.
That's where we met, right, Beth?
I think so. Yeah, I met you and Ugo there. And then we like met, and then we hung out the whole weekend. I'm like, I'll just hang out with
I
y'all.
mean,
Y'all is
just,
best.
you're like these are my people.
Yeah, totally.
Now, have you guys
So-
ever come down here to Florida to any cons down here?
Have not.
I went to my first Florida con last year. It was Homat.
Oh, you went to Hallmat. We were at Hallmat last year too.
That's where he proposed to me.
That's where I proposed to her. Yes.
Aw.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Now, Homat was
Thank
fun.
you.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh man. So you were there last year, huh?
Yep.
What were you, A-Train?
A Train and Miles Morales, I think, were the two cosplays. It was I think Punk Miles.
You know, after this whole thing is done, I'm gonna send a picture to you. I think I have a picture with you.
Oh,
I
as
got
Miles
a picture
Morales.
I got a picture with 2 A-Trains.
I'm probably one of them. there were like 3 A trains there, so it's hit or miss.
No. There were like 15 A-Trains, but there were 3 good ones. And I think you might have been the good one.
They're all good.
Yes, all right.
So, question: does anyone ever have anyone in your comments or calling you old,
Yes.
like the old
Yeah.
version of the old train, whatever, the old version
Whole
of
train.
a character? That hasn't happened yet. I feel like I'm jinxing myself right
You
now.
cosplay that. Own it. Like get some gray stuff and be like, who are you? I'm old train. I'm old train.
You know what?
No
My
one's
friends gave me
ever
some
has
nice
to me.
I'm gonna do AARP train at some point.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna cosplay Sally O'Malley, if y'all know who she is, in 3 years when I turn 50. Y'all know who Sally O'Malley is?
Do it.
Look it up.
Oh, yeah.
You will.
I had someone, I do several Pokemon cosplays, and I had someone say, well, no offense, but I mean, you're over 40. What do you know about Pokemon? And I'm like, are you kidding me? When did it actually come out? You know?
Like I was there when Ash went on screen.
I've also been called that I look like I'm like Bulma's grandmother on meth.
Wow.
I get the old comments a lot, and I make handy use of the block and delete buttons.
Yep.
I mean, it used to
very
get me
handy.
really
Yeah.
upset, but now it's just like, you know what? That's on you, because I don't really care, and I don't feel like that.
But before you make sure it's someone that, like, if someone says that to you, I don't want them associated with me. So you let me know who it is, so I can block and delete them too.
Will do.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't want to be associated with that.
Sorry, put it.
Mhm.
Here we go.
Well, part of it for me was just the leaning into it. Like at WonderCon, I did Red Guardian. Like, you know, I'm not going to dress up as Peter Parker. I mean, I could at this point. You know, I've definitely got the beard for it. And I think the best part about doing Red Guardian WonderCon is at one point in time during the day, somebody stopped me and asked me what work I did to get my beard to look that good to play Red Guardian. I'm like, I'm just old as fuck, dude. Like, I didn't do anything. I just lived my life, and here I am, and it looks great. So,
I love that.
I've been fortunate enough to not really have much negativity on my feed, so I don't really put up with much, and I think people kind of know that. So, and like the 1 or 2 times that since I've been doing this. I just block them. I don't even. Like, I know I'm not 20. Like, you ain't telling me nothing I don't know.
I was dressed as Thor once, and somebody said, "Shouldn't you be Odin?" I'm like, "Shouldn't you go over there?"
Oh man.
Wow.
I mean, whatever. Go away, kid. I'll smash you. I didn't say that, but I wanted to.
See, if I was dressed as Billy Butcher, then he fucking cunt, But I was,
Your beard's not long enough, man. That's the only problem.
That was the
I can
best
grow it. I
part.
can grow it longer.
You could. And let me tell you, that is the best part I found out about cosplaying Billy Butcher is that you will walk around a con and never thought you'd be so delighted out of being called that word so often because it comes with love and respect. And I remember walking around Dragon Con and kept hearing that word being yelled at me. And I smiled every time. And it's a position I never thought I'd find myself in life, but it was great.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Best cosplay moment for each of you. Like when you were out in cosplay, what made your heart freaking melt?
Oh boy.
I'll go first if I can. While WonderCon, this past WonderCon, I have a ton of fantastic memories. I think the best is on Sunday. I was doing Cash, and I was doing Jim Hopper from Stranger Things. And this
Nice.
6-year-old girl dressed as 11 with a hospital gown came up to me and asked me if she could have a picture taken with me.
Aw.
And her dad was following her, took a picture of us together, and then she reached up and gave me the biggest hug in the world and just walked off all smiles. It was a moment I didn't expect to happen, but when it did, I was just like, oh my God, wow, that was, and as any of you have kids who know, that's just oh man, it just melts your heart.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah, man.
I don't know if I have a moment. I love going to conventions and meeting people that I've followed on Instagram for years. And we finally get to meet them. That's just magic, like meeting Chris and meeting, lots. I got to meet a lot of East Coast people at Dragon Con last year and the whole weekend was just so much fun. So my con experiences, I guess, seeing other cosplayers and getting excited about cosplay. Those are I guess that's my favorite part about it.
Awesome.
I guess I have two that stand out. I mean, I'm like Beth. I love going to a con and meeting up with people who I've met mostly through over 40. And it's been lots of fun. People will come up to me and hey, I'm this. And I'll be like, oh, awesome, let's get a picture. But I guess the two biggest moments for me, really, because I can't really decide. One, I was cosplaying Salem from Ruby. And I was at Grand Rapids Comic Con, and someone was calling, Salem, wait. And it was Samantha Ireland, who is a voice actress who does a character called Nora, who's on Ruby. And she hunted me down so she could get a picture with me. And I was like,
Aw.
awesome. But I guess last fall, I participated in a charity event called the Autism Hero Walk. And I was Wonder Woman because I'm also Ann Arbor Wonder Woman. And a woman, I had a lot of women come up to me and want pictures, but one woman just came up to me and she gave me a huge hug and she told me Wonder Woman was always her hero growing up, and even now, the difficult times that she's had with autism in her family, she always looked to Wonder Woman to help her through the most difficult of it, and that she just wanted me to know. And I was just like, I'm glad I could
pretty
make her
cool.
smile that
Love
day.
that.
All right, Shinobi.
Wow, that's actually a difficult to answer question, but I feel like the thing that's jumping because I've had a lot of great experiences in cosplay, and but one would be I was going to a con, and there was a kid that loved Captain America. That was his favorite character, and I received the message. I wasn't cosplaying Captain America; I was cosplaying Black Panther, but I received the message that he wasn't going to be able to make it because he was sick. He had cancer. And so we quickly rallied up a group of people. We got him a shield and Milner, and we all signed it. And even some of the celebs at this con agreed to sign it, and we gave it to him. And it. We got photos of him. He was extremely happy. And I think the best part of the story is I've kind of followed him off and on with him and his father. He's cancer free now. That's
Awesome.
the best story I got. and then he made it to a con and got the chance to meet a Captain America and take photos with him.
That's awesome.
With that.
I mean, mine was similar. Mine was I was standing in Walmart at store, and same thing. This little girl ran up to me and she goes, "Hey, Thor!" I'm like, "Yeah, right." She knows who I am. She's like, "Hey, Thor, you were at my brother's bed because a couple weeks earlier I was at John Hopkins and I was visiting her brother, and I hate to be bad, but I forgot she was there because I was focusing on her brother. But I was in Walmart and she goes, "Hey, I want to thank you for coming to see my brother. It was really great for you." She said Mjolnir. She couldn't say it, just like everybody else can. Mjolnir, but nobody else can say it. She goes, "Thank you for letting my brother hold Mjolnir and saying hi to my brother. And it means a lot to me that you came." Now, I had a wig on like this long. I had the armor on, and I'm in Walmart with this short hair like this. And she knew who I was, and she didn't care. It's stuff like that that makes me keep doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys. I mean, well, it's still fun. Don't get me wrong. We all like dressing up and being awesome, but stuff like that is awesome. That's really awesome.
Definitely.
So awesome. Well, there's also some great reasons. I'll say, what advice would you give to people over 40 who want to get into cosplay but are just scared or nervous?
I'd say message me.
Message her.
Message me. I will give you inspiration. I am all for cosplay being like about everybody and being inclusive and understanding that the biggest obstacle to anyone cosplaying is ourselves and our own mind and our own perception of what we can and cannot do. I'm going to say message me. I would be happy to talk to anybody who wants to get into it. I don't know. I feel very strongly about anybody who wants to step outside of their shell to experience something, finding people in the community to really help and not judge them for anything, but to embrace and lift them up so that they can try. We don't know until we try. None of us do. And none of us know our actual potential unless we even take that first step. But sometimes that first step can be so scary.
I was done. She brought me back. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And she's like, "Help me make this Wonder Woman costume." I'm like, all right, I'll help.
When it's still sitting in the closet that nobody's even seen yet, but that's okay. I have a lot of those, but that's okay.
I feel like if you're over 40, you could probably afford just buy whatever cosplay you want, right? Like, you don't have to make it. You can just buy it, right? Because we're over 40. We're adults. We have jobs. And then get your best friend to go to the con with you because it's a lot less scary if you have someone there with you. That's my
My
advice.
advice would be think of all the fandoms that you have and pick a character that really means a lot to you, because the cosplay will mean that much more to you if it's a character that you can relate to. And whether you buy the cosplay, make the cosplay, have someone else make the cosplay for you, at least you know that it's some character that you love and you'll feel confident because you have that connection with that character. And it doesn't have to be a character your age. It can be a character who is older. It can be a character who is younger. I mean, it's something that you love, so you can choose whatever you want to represent it. And that would, for me, would be the first step to take.
Mm-hmm. The just do it. Just do it. You can spend all kinds of time thinking about money, about cosplay building ability, about body shape, body size, all those things. Listen, step one is passion. And if you're already thinking about cosplaying, you've already got step one in the bag. After that, just start building on that. Focus on that. Focus on your passion of what it is you want to do. Go for it. Don't stop. And as somebody who's still relatively recently through it, it is life altering. It is life changing. You're going to find a community of people who are going to embrace you, who are going to love you, who think that you're just amazing for doing what it is you do. So I'd say just do it.
Best advice. Love it.
Wait, where is he?
I don't know what you're saying.
Wait.
Finch has got it. I agree.
That's it. I would say, yeah, just dive into it. I think if you're nervous, once you actually get into a convention, it can be overwhelming. But once you start meeting people, I think you'll gain confidence and you'll really start to enjoy it.
And if you have a few friends who do it or will support you, it's even better and easier.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I will say this. Yes, cosplay, if you let it, can be a lot of money. I mean, you can dump a lot of money into this. But there are definitely ways you can do this on a budget. Have fun, closet cosplays.
Hmm.
Just you be you. Go to these cons, meet like people, and you'll meet new friends. And it's such a great time. It's so good. And it doesn't matter if you're 40 or if you're 22. Go out, have fun, do you.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even
And if
have
you
to
don't
go
have
to
any friends who are into,
cons.
yeah, and if you don't have any friends who are into cosplay, make some.
Yeah.
Like make some 100%. I'm in a position where it's like, since I've gotten into cosplay, like my 3 closest friends in the world now are in the cosplay community, and we talk all the time. And had it not been for cosplay, we never would have met. And beyond that, outside of the cosplay stuff, they've been massive, important, influential people in my life. So yeah, if you're surrounded by people who are like going to be negative or judgmental or tease you about cosplaying, then you're in the wrong tribe. Like
Right.
it's that simple. And that is not the thing that you can ever let stop you from anything you want to be passionate about. Because if that's just negativity that's in your life, then you just need to reevaluate your position and not your own self and how you're operating.
Boom.
But one thing I wanted to say is that you don't have to go to cons to cosplay. There are cosplay groups that you can join that are in your region. If you know a couple of other cosplayers, there might be a cosplay shoot. Like, hey, there was a Detroit Marvel meetup recently, and people went to that.
There's also
Um,
charity work.
or the cosplay, the cosplay, lots of charity work. And if you don't belong to a charity group, you can just call your local hospital or clinic and say, hey, I dress up as Supergirl. Is it okay if I come and say hi to the kids? And they will embrace you and say, yes, please, the kids would love it. And that's really a first
That's
step
how I
that you can
started.
take.
Yep.
Love it. So I have another question. So when you're at cons, do you find the photographers take less photos of you than like other younger cosplayers?
I will say this right now. This is what started us to get Cosplay Over 40 going. I had been going to cons, and it got to one con where they pretty much just ignored me or anyone else that looked to be about my age or older. And there was one photographer who even told my husband, who is a photographer, that he only takes pictures of pretty young girls. And I was like, you know what? Screw that. And 1 week later, we started Cosplay Over 40. Um, every week we get at least one DM or chat, as they call it now, from someone who is thanking us for having this community for them. And almost all of them relate to going to cons with a group of friends, and the photographer will take a picture of their friends, and then they will lower the camera and walk away without taking a picture of them. And it makes them feel old and like dirt and unwanted. And some have even said that they felt that this was their last time cosplaying because the photographers treated them so badly. And we've had one person, a West Coast cosplayer, who actually said kept submitting his photos to different share pages on Instagram, and no one ever posted his photo until we posted his photo. And now he's far more active. Beth, he's actually in your group. And it just gets me that, if you're going to be a cosplay photographer, you have to be a cosplay for everyone photographer, because everyone cosplays, not just kids. I might feel strongly about that.
No,
Yeah,
I
I'm
agree.
definitely.
I was
It's
Go ahead,
definitely
go ahead.
happened to me. It's definitely happened to me. I mean, it doesn't feel the best, but I've learned my lesson that I need to, before cons, I need to book photo shoots. Otherwise, it's just sometimes you just end up not getting photos. So, I'm gonna try and book photo shoots from now on out.
See, I'm gonna have to come out of retirement as a photographer now.
Yeah, do it.
What? What are you looking at me for? Sorry.
I'm staring at her because I'm waiting for her to speak up. But
I don't think I have. I've been pretty. I think I've been pretty fortunate, but so I don't feel like I have as much to contribute. I think that there's other ways that I will put myself in a situation that makes me feel uncomfortable due to my age, but I don't think that has anything to do with necessarily um, external like people. It's something that sometimes I'll pick up on something or I'll perceive something to be a certain way, and that'll be uncomfortable, and I might take ownership of it. Oh, it must be an age thing, but I can't say specifically anything negative. In fact, I've met some great photographers that I was fortunate enough to meet just because they had stopped us and wanted to take our picture. So I don't know what that's what you were going to say, but yeah, I just think I've been very fortunate in a lot of ways in that.
She is very fortunate. I will say this. I was cosplaying before I got with Steph. So in that aspect, I was fortunate to have a few photographers that I knew that would take my pictures and stuff like that. But at cons, I'd walk by them, nobody stopped me. Nobody, I mean, I don't care how good my costume was. I mean, I could have looked like that Hemsworth himself and nobody would have cared. But when I got with her, it's immediately, hey, you guys together, let's get pictures. It's awesome. So yes, being over 40 has its perks, as in, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just saying, before I was with her, she brought me up. She raised me up.
I'm just 6
You
foot.
got upgraded. You were upgraded.
They just have to see me. I'm 6 foot tall.
Thank
barefoot.
you, Shinobi.
So I'm wearing shoes that make me, like 6'4", 6'5". Like you just can't miss me.
You can't miss you.
What it is.
Well, my cosplay bestie is
raised me up and stuff. So.
very beautiful. So anytime we're together, photographers, Christina. She is, she's Christina. So Dark Matter Cost. So whenever we're together, we are very popular.
There are good cosplay photographers out there that see somebody and realize, like, hey, this is a good photo. Mm-hmm. There are good photographers out there. I mean, yes, you got your bums every once in a while, but most of the people in this community are really great at what they do, and they recognize talent, not just because, oh, you're really hot or you're really cool or whatever. Tall. They see somebody who put a lot of work into the cosplay and they'll take pictures of it. So I encounter that more than I don't.
There's some good ones out there for sure.
Too much.
I agree.
All right.
I didn't know if my view was kind of skewed because I started as a photographer, so I was friends with a lot of photographers. So when I started cosplaying, I already had relationships with photographers. So I felt like that was a little easier for me.
Plus, if you go to cons, you start going to the circuit, you start knowing which are the photographers who will shoot you and which won't, and you just kind of are polite to the ones who you know won't and stick with the ones who will.
Yeah. I see stories about a lot of people, I want to get out of cosplay because of the negativity, and I see people going, the community is so toxic and stuff, but I guess I'm fortunate. I have not run into the toxicity that some of those people have had. I've had a good time cosplaying the whole time. All the photographers that I've been with have always been welcoming, great, nice, and they're always asking me, hey, you want to take a picture? They're not like, yo, let's get a picture. They're like, hey, can I take a picture of you? I've always had respect and good people in this community. So it really upsets me when I see people going, oh, the cosplay community sucks. No, I think you're just hanging out with the wrong people.
Yep. Stay away from the drama.
Yes. That's an over 40 right
Run
there.
Away.
Stay away from the drama.
Yeah, you missed that. We went over that bit.
Oh.
Stay away from the drama.
That was like 3 questions ago. Sorry.
That was like the first question.
I'm gonna put it in there anyways.
But yeah, in regards to photo shoots, I'm gonna make sure I get photos. So I'm gonna take control. And you know what? Photographers don't stop me. It's okay because I'm booked a photo shoot. So that's kind of my. So I don't let it bother me.
I have a built-in photographer.
There you go.
Jay.
And if we're ever at a con together, Jay. Right, honey? He's just nodding his head.
I just go to cons to have fun and do crazy, funny videos, to be honest.
You do really great videos, Chris. We all appreciate them.
Thank you. Oh, you had a question. Are there any cosplayers over 40 that inspire you?
Anna.
Oh, I like to think we all inspire each other.
Yes, and Steph. All
I
y'all are
agree.
amazing.
Agree.
But I will say, best Bakugo. Wow, I mean, that really got me like, I can do that maybe. Look at her. And that was like years ago. Gosh, was it already years ago?
Oh, my burlesque one. Is that the one you're talking about?
I think it was your rainbow one, actually.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, that was something.
I like to think that all of us can inspire
I don't
each
necessarily
other.
know people's ages. I don't subscribe to ageism.
No, I'm blind when it comes to
like
ageism.
I just and yeah, so I just if I just appreciate people's work and I know how hard it is to go into like how many hours it takes to really like do something on point at cosplay and use different materials and having not known how to use any of the materials to not being a master in any, but knowing how to do everything from, weaving my own chainmail to scale mail to foam and sewing, which I didn't even know how to like fix anything in sewing. Like all of my skills have been through cosplay. And it's just, you can look at something and really appreciate what somebody's done and also look at it and be like, oh, now I get it. Now like the thing clicks that you didn't know you were missing. That's the other thing that's really cool. And one of the things that I have noticed is a lot of the cosplayers that have been around longer, who might be over 40 or around that age mark, they have been cosplaying a long time. So they actually have a lot of master level skills. That's really impressive that you can look to, or they have some little facet to what they do that you might have missed to make things a little bit more clean. It's that whole, with age comes wisdom.
Yeah. Sometimes. You know what inspires me is Finch's room. Dude, your
Pretty
podcast
badass.
room is awesome. I will say, I'm going to say that right now. I love your room.
I approve of the Ahsoka. Yes.
Yeah, that's my judgy Ahsoka there, who like judges me every podcast episode that I do. People over
Feeling judged right now.
cosplayers. Yeah, she is. Look,
She's
got it.
judging.
She needs to be on
Steph
like
looks like that
if they-
every night. She's just like, yeah.
yeah. I have to say though, cosplayers over 40 that inspire you, everyone in this chat, with the exception of Shinobi, because he's not 40, inspire me so very much.
Fast forward 1 year.
Right? Yeah, we'll do this. Yeah, talk to me then, bro. There was, and I wish I would have gotten his name. There was a cosplayer that I met at WonderCon who did not have Instagram, has zero social media presence whatsoever. But I think he told me he was 64, and he was dressed as World War II Captain America with like the leather coat and like the helmet. And yeah, now that I'm saying it, I'm gonna end up posting a picture of my Insta story. And of course,
He's
I was
one of
Red Guardian,
ours.
so we
You'll
got a
find him on
picture
our
together.
feed.
And here was a guy who just did not care. That guy was having a ball. Like he was just having so much fun. And to me, that was inspiring. Like if there was any inkling in my soul about being self-conscious about being my age and being at WonderCon, there's this dude who just gave zero fucks. And it was amazing. And he was just having so much fun.
I did want to say one thing. Social media is such a trap. So I have a love-hate thing with it, only because it's like, man, as much as I love it to stay in touch and to get inspiration and, to chat with my friends, there's the other thing of there, you are putting yourself out there for judgment, and you do feel, at least for me, I do hold myself to a specific standard, and that includes posting pictures. Like I just don't want to have to like even deal with any hatred. It's like who needs negativity in our lives? There's enough of that out there. Yeah, and I just would rather enjoy the con and seeing everybody at cons. Like I don't know.
You make so many friends when you go to a con and you just start talking to people. It's just
warmth and love, and then online it's like,
It can be exhausting too. Like, oh, I should
Yeah.
post. Ugh.
Yeah.
It
Fine,
is.
I'll
No,
It
there's
post.
that
is.
thing that like, oh, you should post every so often. You gotta do reels. You gotta.
And I'm
like,
still
how am I
doing social
doing that?
media for my job too. So like I do something for my job and then I'm like, oh, I should do something for cosplay
Oh yeah,
too.
we have jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to put on makeup today. If I'm gonna post a picture and get dressed up, I gotta put on makeup. That's like a process, you know.
Someone's
Ah, 'cause,
asking what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a mint julep that my lovely husband made me.
Happy Derby Day.
Yes, exactly. That's what he's watching right
Oh.
now.
Mine
See, I
needs a
spend about-
refill. I will be right back.
I love you.
Love you
I
too.
spend about 5
Speaking
hours
of
a
people that
day
inspire
doing
me,
so.
Cindy Rue Cosplay, I love you so much. Oh my goodness. I go to her
Shout outs.
any kind of sewing thing. Like we'll FaceTime. I'm like, Cindy, please help me. She's
Oh,
amazing.
awesome.
If you don't follow Cindy Rue Cosplay, please do. I love her so much.
She's wonderful.
I'll drop one of my inspirations. So it's Valkyrie Creative. Helen, she lives in the UK. So I started cosplaying in the UK, and she kind of helped me a lot with forming actually my A-Train cosplay with pieces and things I wanted to add to it. So she's awesome with sewing, foam making, crafting, all that things. So amazing inspiration. Thanks for being the inspiration, Helen.
Well, like I deal with 40 plus cosplayers every day. I spend about 4 to 5 hours a day on cosplay over 40. And I can't even begin to list all the different cosplayers that inspire me in some way, because not only am I going through the submissions that they send, but I'm also going through their messages and replying to them and going through their pages and liking their photos and interacting with them. And there's just so much talent out there. So, I mean, I don't really have a problem being on social media because I know where I'm spending my time. And the group that is 40 plus is just awesome. And there's just so much that they contribute that can be inspiring, whether it's Cindy sewing or Mark Candle's crafting.
Oh my God, he's amazing.
I mean, there's just so much.
So amazing. And Bill, who it looks like Walt Disney.
Bill
Holy
Burns
moly, have you
cosplay.
seen his Walt?
He is amazing.
Is
I love him.
Bill the Jonah Jameson? Is that
Oh,
him?
Yes, he was
amazing.
Jonah
Does he
Yes.
play Jonah
too.
Jameson?
Yes,
I met him.
he's
Okay.
the best. I love him and his wife, Jane.
He's always in character. I love it. He's always in character too.
There's just so
Good
many.
people, good community for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I gotta say more power to you. The social media stuff is just. I don't know if I'm too far along in the Gen X category. I've never really been a big social media person. Thanks, babe. But here it comes in. But yeah, I don't know how people can keep up with it. It's a lot of power.
It's a lot.
Love you
It's a
too,
lot.
Cindy.
It's a lot.
So, what has been
Thank you
your
for
favorite
understanding
con?
my pain, Matt.
What's everyone's favorite con they've been to?
Favorite
Dragon Con, hands down. So much fun.
That was too easy.
So fun. Christine and I were like, we're never missing Dragon Con ever again.
Dragon Con. I have yet to take her to Dragon Con. I want to bring her so bad, but Dragon Con is my favorite con.
You it has to happen now. You're live.
No,
you're
and
saying
this year-
it has to happen.
I have a lot of Bay Area friends that are coming, and I'm so excited. And the cosplay group that Chris and I are in, I'm excited about that. It's been my dream for 5 years. We're finally doing. Can I announce it? Can I announce it? What we're doing? We're doing a
Oh,
DC,
fine.
a
Not my group.
DC Mario Brothers mashup group.
Oh, fun.
Ooh.
Nice.
Because
I
I
love
built
your
Wonder
cosplay
Peach 5
group.
years ago, so this is like, I finally have a group.
Well, we're possibly looking to move and buy a new house, so we are probably going to forgo this year, even though I bought a ticket again. I can buy tickets and missing it.
We might be up in the middle of the country, so we can spread out to where you guys are and see those things too. So it'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Now, is there any little cons that you guys like smaller cons? Everybody's like, oh, Dragon Con, Mega Con, Wonder Con. But are
My
there any little
favorite
cons
con?
you guys like?
Now, my favorite con is a little local con that's here, actually based in Michigan, called Dokito Con, and they call themselves a con with heart because Doki Doki. and they are just so wonderful. Everyone is welcoming. It's an anime con, but they welcome any cosplays, but it's mostly anime, and that's where I learned to sew. They have the best panels, they have the best cosplay guests. They're so encouraging, and it's just so well organized. Everyone's divided into teams by their colored lanyards, and they root for their team, and
How
it's just
cute.
such a wonderful little con. And I'll be going there again this summer. I try to go every
Yes,
year.
indeed.
Bye, Cindy.
Well,
Have fun.
And I've never been to Dragon Con, so I can't compare. But Dokito Con is really my favorite one around here.
I like Tampa Bay Comic Con. That always hold a special place in my heart. So everybody was just really, really warm. It was, I guess, my second con going in cosplay as Wonder Woman, and I think without the experience that I had there, I don't think I ever would have gotten into cosplaying. So, in fact, I'm sure I wouldn't have gotten into cosplaying if it hadn't been for that con.
For me, there's a con called Cos Expo. It's in the UK. It's on a college campus. It was put on by cosplayers, so it's kind of geared toward cosplayers,
nice.
and it's very nice. It's very small and kind of intimate. They have panels and all those sort of things also, but it's more about crafting, photography, um, and it's because the location is just it's a lot of greenery, it's a lot of trees, so you can do a lot of really cool photo shoots. So that's one of my favorite cons.
Love that.
All right.
WonderCon. I'm gonna say that one. I did Dragon Con last year. This past year was my very first WonderCon. And it sticks out to me, especially because, just like you guys were saying, there were so many friends that I had made in the cosplay community that WonderCon was when I got to meet the majority of them for the first time in real life. My wife wants me to say that my favorite con is HomeCon, like just being home. That's what she wants me to say. But WonderCon, I have so many memories from that. It's not necessarily smaller, but probably C2E2 in Chicago is my home con. I live a couple hours outside Chicago, Midwest boy.
Where do you live, if I can ask where you live?
I live in a town called Freeport, Illinois. It's about 2 hours west of Chicago.
We moved here from Champaign.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, down there in central Illinois.
Champaign-Urbana.
Yeah. Champaign-Urbana.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to C2E2. It's, yeah, for me, it's my home con. I've been going to that con literally since they had their very first one. So that's the fun one.
Wow.
It's on the bucket list.
It's on my list. It's on my list too.
Great one
Yeah.
too. So
If any of you make it, hit me up. Let me know. We'll hang for sure.
Will do.
Yep. Keep trying. It's only 4 hours from here, so
It's on my list. I got like a bunch on my list.
Yeah, WonderCon was my first WonderCon as well. I mean that's when we met. It was awesome, and I feel like some of my favorite parts of con are after con, when you're just hanging out at the hotel bar or whatever, just drinking, eating, having a good time with everybody.
that should
And actually
be a
talk
con.
to people.
After con, that should be a con.
After con.
After con.
I agree.
After con,
Saturday Night Hilton.
right? With you
Dude,
guys,
like,
one of my favorite cons was the smallest one that I ever been to was Space Con down in Southwest Florida. That's where I'm from, and I got my start as Thor, cosplaying as Thor, and I met a Vera cosplay and Geeks and God. These are good. Like the whole Southwest Florida crew, we're like this. I don't know if you guys
I
ever
love
guys, but
I saw him.
I met them at a whole mat.
all right, those
Yeah.
Those are my buds. So our cosplay journey all started together. Like we all started at the same time. And to watch my friends grow, like Josh and Nicole and all these guys just become who they are, is amazing. And it all started from these two little cons in Southwest Florida. And now we're all like, I mean, I'm not, but they're like,
That's so
It's awesome.
it's fun.
I mean,
It's fun. And
I was following a couple of them. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm done.
Go ahead. Okay. At home, I was following. I knew a couple of them, but I didn't recognize them when they were at con. And I was dressed as A-Train one day, and I can't remember. I think it was Sparky. Sparky walked up to me and was like, "Hey, we're doing a boys group tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow? I was like, well,
No,
I guess I'm doing A-Train.
I know
And
I
it was a great day.
I'm gonna point at you.
Wasn't
I
that-
know I got pictures with you. I'm gonna send them to you. I got some pictures with you.
Wait, was that when I was the Holiday Red Sonja?
Yes. She was Red Sonja.
That was the Holiday Red Sonja. I think it's
Okay, I
Okay,
definitely
And I
saw
was
you.
Wolverine, and we were both like,
I
You were
definitely.
Wolverine. You were the like warrior when I was Holiday Red Sonja.
oh, I was even better than Wolverine. I was a warrior, yeah.
Now I'm having this flashback. I definitely
like that,
remember
like,
like
The
speaking
scale
to you.
mail that was like candy cane striped. That I made.
Yes,
I know Theo.
but
I'm gonna have to look at your page, Steph. That sounds amazing. I think I missed that one.
Can I tell you? I think my holiday, like my Hallbat builds, might be my favorite builds. So I don't know. I think it's because you get to have so much fun with it.
She gets so happy and giddy when she's building these. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this." It's so fun watching her do it.
Hallmat is such a fun. I have so many ideas for things I want to
It's
do.
just so fun
Right?
to like have that spin and to like and have the theme going, but then it just like it takes on its own, I don't know, mystique. I mean, like my first build was a build for that, the what I called Winter Wonderland, because it was Wonder Woman, but like in a white armor. But yeah, I incorporated EL wire and everything, and I made the whole thing, and
Wow.
ended up con crunching because I had no idea what the F I was doing. It was like, but I think it still might be my favorite build because I'm like, I did this, you know?
Makes me want to get a hall mat.
How
We're
much?
going this
All
winter.
that's so
Yeah, come.
fun. It's ridiculously fun because you're in a theme.
Yeah.
That's a con I did feel that. That is a con that
Holiday themes something.
that's the con
She's
with that.
not wrong.
The age,
Yeah.
you notice the age more at that con than any other con.
They're all kids doing anime stuff, and we're like,
Am I wrong? Are we wrong though?
I gotta take the
You
dog
know what I mean?
out.
Are we
I gotta
wrong
take
about
the
that?
dog
Like there was a lot younger.
Yeah, but we
Agreed.
watched the music videos and the cosplay contest, and hardly anyone is in holiday themed, which I thought was kind of odd.
Hmm.
Well, it's all about showing ass, apparently.
I'll do that all
But-
day.
It's a lot of fun, but yeah, it's definitely that's the one con that I don't feel I feel my age more.
Well,
Hmm.
we're planning
Good to
on
know.
being there this winter, so
Well, then we'll have to hang out.
got it.
We can all hang out together in our
Yes.
holiday theme.
Yes,
And no, they don't all do holiday theme, but I love the fact that we can, and I fully take advantage of it.
Yep, I might have a few Christmas cosplays. A few.
figure something out.
That reminds me, Shinobi. Speaking of like the after party, I think I still got a video on my phone of you and Yugo at the after party from WonderCon. I got to remember to send that to you because it was hilarious. It was like just when you had like unzipped and unveiled the Yugo wants Yugo get shirt.
Were
Which
you
is freaking
also at the
epic.
Hilton on Saturday night too?
Yeah, he was
Uh,
there.
Yeah, most of
He
what I
was.
remember anyway. I
I was
was.
there.
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
Were you there?
you're like right
I
there.
was there
Yeah, 'cause
too.
I
was Black
I
Canary.
forewarned Beth. I forewarned Beth about that I was gonna do the whole reveal thing because
Yes.
no one knew about it.
I knew about it. We probably hung out Finch. I don't remember.
Yeah, we may have.
We're literally
I don't
all
know.
in the same space.
Yeah.
Well, Beth, I haven't given up on getting back out to San Francisco to meet up with you guys.
Oh, and it was
Alone this
in our
time.
X-Men shoot, and that didn't happen. So it was
Yeah,
sad.
if you guys are coming down to Florida, let me know.
I'll be there at the end of the month for Enchantment Con.
I'll have to look that up. I'm gonna write that down right now. There's so many in Florida; it's hard to keep track. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, we're eventually moving towards the East Coast in like 4 years. So we're retired.
Really?
Yeah, my husband's retiring early, so we're
Nice.
getting out of California,
You know where you're
going
headed?
back to my roots,
Back to
probably
Illinois?
Arkansas, where I'm from.
Well, then you'll be near me. Ish.
Yay!
A short Amtrak
I
ride
took up the
away.
space.
I'm trying to like slowly like wrap it around my brain that I'm not going to be in California forever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Don't worry, you can come back to the
Sorry.
Midwest in our snow in May.
I feel a tail. What is
Exactly.
Theo?
What's our next question, Chris?
So I was gonna say any cosplans that anyone care to share?
Well, I can say, we want to do a big build of that. This is big. So Theodore.
That's Theo.
We are excited to be
I don't have anything.
working on a Mr. Miracle and Big Barda.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, she's only like 1.5 feet taller than I am when she stands up, so
It'll be great.
I love it. I can't wait to see it.
I gotta lean into what I am, which is, an Amazon type woman. So, and it works out.
My friend Lacey did Big Barda. Do you follow Miss Marvelous?
Oh, she's wonderful.
She's so
great.
awesome.
And she's also over 40.
She isn't.
Yes, she is.
I'm pretty sure I do.
So we figured what best couple to do is like a guy does like this, and we're like, oh,
I love it.
Mr. Miracle and Big Barda. There we go.
Perfect.
I'm doing Galadriel from Rings of
Nice.
Power. That's my
Nice.
here's my armor. It's like right next to me.
Oh,
So I've been working on it.
wonderful.
On it. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Nice.
It's taking over my life as my warble falls off. Okay. That's what I'm working on.
I want to say Professor X just so I can sit through a con, like,
Yeah,
so
shaved.
Yeah,
No,
whatever.
That's not a bad idea.
Believe me, the lengths I will go to be able to sit down are pretty extreme. Like, it is literally one of my favorite things to do. So yeah, when you're out at a con with a bunch of 20-year-olds who are like running, I'm like, I can just get a really padded wheelchair and just bring me pizza, and it'll be amazing.
Ooh, and then you could like trip out your wheelchair with like X's and stuff. That'd be cool.
I'm gonna put rims on it and ground
Oh, yeah.
effects and
Spin
yeah.
Sound effects.
I had a
Get a
broken
CB
foot.
radio, talk to other wheelchairs. It'll be great.
I had a broken foot at a con, so I had a knee scooter. Spooky Empire. That was one of my favorite cons down here. And let me tell you, that thing was awesome because I had a seat everywhere I went and had a basket so I could put stuff in it. It was amazing to have that thing.
Were you in cosplay when you were?
Oh,
on
yeah.
your scooter?
Well, one of the cosplays I did because I had broken my foot. I did Zoya the Destroyer from
Oh my gosh!
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because I was like, and I walked around. I had such a great time. I walked around with this attitude. I was like, "You Americans with your weak cosplay. That's Russians doing good things 100%. If character break leg, we break leg."
That is amazing. I love
so
it.
much fun.
Oh my god, I love that show. I wish there'd be more.
So yeah, it just had to work. It worked out perfectly. But yeah, I just scooted around everywhere, and it was great. My feet didn't hurt from the shoes. I had a seat with me everywhere I went that was padded. It was awesome. It's the little things.
Plans too. I don't know if you can see. I've got a spreadsheet here that is
Looks
Oh,
like
gosh.
a lot.
all these
Ooh.
are cosplays
Wow.
in some sort of planning stage or
Oh my.
in progress. More than
That
70
is-
of them. They take up my entire office.
Whoa.
So if I'm not online, I'm there ignoring the laundry. But I'm hoping to finish a couple of She-Hulks this week, a couple of Harleys this week, and get started on a couple of Wonder Womans.
Yes.
Which version?
And
Okay.
I finally got tired and bought Slave Leia stuff, so that'll be coming too.
All right.
Especially since I
Oh,
keep
yeah.
seeing someone's Leia Widow cosplay and going, I can do something like that.
Shinobi, I don't know how we are on time, but can I ask you guys something?
Sure.
I want to hear what cosplay he's working on.
Actually, yeah.
Oh, I guess I should.
What are you
What am I working on?
I know one thing you're
So-
working on.
You do.
Insider, right down here. Wait, over there.
I feel
Is
like.
it a DC
What am I working on?
Mario
Over
thing?
here.
It's a DC Mario thing. That's one of the things I'm working on. I'll give you the DC part of it is the Flash.
Wait,
Everything for speedsters, apparently, obviously.
I want to hear this because I got a Flash cosplay going on right now. What's going on, man? Hold on.
So my Mario and DC mashup, my DC part of the mashup is going to be the Flash.
Ooh.
Is it going to be the Wash? Like they'll give me
Wario Flash.
It's not Wario.
Oh, okay.
Waluigi
Mario.
I mean,
Flash.
Wario
not
Flash.
Luigi.
Smash.
Toad Flash.
It may be Toad Flash.
Toadash.
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 What does it
It's
name it?
okay. Go ahead. Ask your question. I got him under control now.
But I will say I'm working on a new version of Nightcrawler as well. That's
Awesome.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh, your Hellfire Nightcrawler made me so happy.
That
It
was
was
you.
so
That was
amazing.
awesome.
God,
it made
so
me happy
good.
because it was like 2 weeks
What?
before the
And your
color.
body paint was
Or
just
maybe a
like,
week.
oh, so good.
All
I
the
love
That was really
Hellfire
good.
Gala
Thank
guys,
you.
you guys
Thank
are
you.
I'm
awesome.
right now. You got a Hellfire Nightcrawler? What?
Yes.
Son.
Well, hey guys, before you move on to the next one, I want to say that I gotta bounce here, but I want to say I love all of you. It was great talking to you, Shinobi. Thank you for having me on so much, and I hope I get a chance to talk to all you guys again in the future.
Hey,
Yes, please.
for
Absolutely.
sure.
Yes.
All right, bye.
Bye.
See ya.
See you later.
I'm curious about Curtis's question.
I had lots. Which one?
About Cosplayance?
So I'm still looking up Hellfire Nightcrawler. I want to see this. That's what
It's
I'm-
awesome.
Like all of those Hellfire Gallons. It's like, gosh, I wish we had
Oh,
some
I
kind
know.
of community like that
It's really
here.
That
but
was so amazing.
That's all Jordan and
Yeah,
Michelle.
those.
They made it happen.
I mean, you guys have just the best get-togethers. It's just so amazing that it's wonderful that there are these cosplay groups around the country that do that. It's inspiring, and it's so and
Where else can you see She-Hulk, on the runway walking,
And twerking.
twerking,
I did twerk.
twerking.
Oh gosh.
What?
I
But
know.
you didn't see the
It's on
video?
YouTube.
oh my goodness.
I
There forever.
had
Forever.
make the fanboys mad.
But yeah, Curtis, you had a question. You said you had a question.
Oh, don't worry about it. The Hellfire Nightcrawler just like threw me off. That's awesome.
It's so good.
Yeah. We're over 40, so we're about done.
About I was about to say
Sorry about that,
that.
but we're doing stuff we got to get to. So
More cosplay.
So I will say thank you guys for joining. Cosplay is for everyone. Cosplay until you're 90. You can bury me in my cosplay whenever I go. Hopefully it's not from a heart attack like A-Train. But
Boy.
Hopefully you're in your A-Train
That's
costume
right.
when that happens. That would be awesome.
Decades.
that would
So
be
many
the most.
so many years from now.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
be rocking AARP train at that point. So
Yeah.
Yes. I plan on cosplaying with my grandkids, so
Yes.
love it.
which is
I get to have some.
eventually, hopefully, maybe someday, or maybe my grand cats.
And-
Yes.
Keith L gets it.
Hey, hopefully I'll cosplay Odin. This will be my frig with my children, so that'd be awesome.
settle down there, babe. Well,
I'll bring Heimdall back for that.
thank you.
Oh
for
yeah.
having me and allowing Curtis to pop
Crash
in.
this.
We're gonna have to rate this OnlyFans. So
I know.
Only nerds.
Yeah, this was
Oh,
great.
word.
Thank you, Chris, for inviting us, and thank you, Cosplay Alliance. And
Yes,
really
thank you so
fun.
much for having
Yeah,
us.
it's a lot of fun.
boom, there you have it. Cosplay over 40. Out.
Out. Later, guys.
bye.